we experienced some difficulties in the beginning about promoting the plant-based treaty in Turkey, especially when we started in August, by the end of August, with the startup. We thought that we would immediately have 500 signatures in a day. This did not happen. So I will go through it step by step, but just to let you know, the important thing was the help we got from Nicola, and we got the list to check whether our signatures, our endorsements was on the list. Because we faced some technical difficulties, such as the internet was on and off in Turkey, or people used to promise that they would sign, but they did not. But if we were insistent, then they would sign. So having the list and checking the names was the key. And so this is what we do now. We reach out to followers by direct messages. We don't need to meet people, you know, like even if they do not make any comment on our post or do not engage at all, we start from the very beginning. We send messages to our followers, first thanking them that they are following us, and then we inform that there is a wonderful campaign that we are sure they would like to join. So this works a lot. And then we collaborate with climate sensitive organizations. We send them, again, direct messages telling them that we share the same values, we share the same thoughts, and why wouldn't they join us? So they share it in their websites, they share it in their social media, and this works as well. And when we start to be in close contact with other climate activist groups, then we join them either on their actions or events, or we invite them to our actions or events, such as collecting trash, or joining them on a strike, you know, the Fridays for Future global strike, or planting trees, or just the conversation we do at their premises. We go there and just do our presentation about plant-based treatment. 4 actions like this. And then this was the first thing we did by the end of August. This was the initial way we used, postering and putting some notes between the books in the bookstores, telling people, asking them to endorse plant-based treaty. But looking at the numbers of endorsements, I think this did not work, because at the end of the day, we saw that being in contact one-to-one, sending direct messages or meeting them in person and looking in the eye is not as the same like sending the message through a book. Still, it worked, but maybe in tens of endorsements, not hundreds or thousands. But it's a good way, I think, when you go to the bookstore, you buy a book, and then you find a bookmark in your book, that might be something to get to know plant-based treaty make. Then, Dear Aprajita just was a good example for us, and I use my birthday for this aim, and I promoted plant-based treaty in my personal space. I said, if you're a good friend of mine, why don't you sign endorse plant-based treaty, because I don't want any other birthday present but your endorsement. So, and this worked as well, but not as well as sending direct messages to my friends either. You know, like 150 people liked my post asking them to endorse plant-based treaty, but just 20 people endorsed, because I had the list nowadays, or those days, and so I was able to check the list. Then I told them one by one. You told me happy birthday, but you did not endorse plant-based food. So I was insisting. I just did not give up. I asked people over and over to endorse. Um, but I think I need to mention that not everyone can be this much insisting. Maybe we cannot ask every member of the team this much insisting, but there are several more ways that the group members can do, and this is what we have done in our team, such as one of us is a member of the university. She's teaching in the university, so her door is covered with a poster. This poster is also in the cafes of Ankara. 6 places now have information about plant-based treaty, and we are now translating it to English if you would like to share. It is giving a very brief information about climate crisis, because not everyone knows in Turkey what climate crisis is, to my surprise. And we tell them there are bad things happening, but there is a medication, and we are offering the medication. And if you endorse plant-based treaty, you will be a part of the solution. So people like such messages. You point out a problem, then you offer the solution, and this might work. There are also barcodes on the poster, so anyone who sees the poster can go to plant-based treaty. It's in Turkish. If it is not in your own language, then you can of course translate it to other languages in plant-based treaty website, and people can either check for the information or go for endorsement. It's easy. And with the cafes, we have another collaboration, such as, collaboration with vegan cafes in Ankara is really working good, because they are so into plant-based treaty. They believe in plant-based treaty. I don't know anyone who would not like to believe in plant-based treaty, but there are people, as you know. So they are collaborating with us in every means. They are offering their spaces for our workshops, as well as they are promoting it in their private areas. Like when their customers arrive, they talk about plant-based treaty, and we share posts about them. And the most important campaign, maybe the biggest gain, came from the Raffles in vegan cafes, such as you see on the left down, we make a post on our social media. We say, would you like to win or gain, I don't know, a piece of cake and a coffee? It will be every week. You can just join us and endorse plant-based treaty. So on the desk, there are these papers. People write down their names, email addresses. They sign it to express their willingness, and they tell us their diet. And when this sheet is done, when it is complete, the cafe tells us that this is complete, and now we can have the raffle. And then we announce it in our social media as well as the cafe. We say this week's winner is, say, Paul and Mary, and they go to the cafe. Probably they bring a friend with them, so everybody wins. And this is really working. And I could say that if we can reach every vegan cafe in every country, I think we can go with the millions of signs, signatures, I guess. And what else we do is organizing some workshops. One of them was milk, yogurt, and ayran workshop. Yogurt and ayran is a traditional food in Turkey, and people, especially the vegans, are so enthusiastic about learning what it is. How do we do it? Because although milk is sold in shops and superstores and stores, we cannot find yogurt or ayran anywhere. So people have to do it in their houses. So we taught how to do it. And during that workshop, almost 30 people joined. When they joined, we talked to them and we asked them to endorse plant-based treaty. And also we had time to ask them, to ask their family and friends to endorse plant-based treaty. If we spend much time with them, this works. We can reach them and they may sometimes even get closer. For example, maybe you can see this person sitting there asked me to do a presentation in the university, and by the end of April, I will have a presentation about veganism. So this is a chance to meet people, to talk about plant-based treaty, and maybe the circle might go bigger. Same like organizing a seed planting workshop, and this was organized by one of our organizers, and it was addressed to the immigrants in Ankara. So we had the chance to give them gifts such as seeds and soil and vase, and told them that they can grow their food in their houses. They don't need a big garden to grow parsley or dill. So this was impressive because we had a constant connection with them. In time, we will teach them how to plant seeds of like cucumber or pepper or tomatoes, and this will be the another step towards plant-based treaties adoption in our lives. I mean, not just endorsing, but adopting a plant-based living to our lives. Same here, we organized this seed planting workshop and compost workshop for the people, for the followers in the same vegan cafe. And we talked about not producing too much waste in our kitchens and create compost out of it, and how to plant our seeds. And then we did some giveaways like soup or cake and milk. And being on the street where hundreds of people are passing, you can just meet them. Important thing is, not everyone, like in the first picture, you can see that elderlies are not familiar with online endorsing. You might spend some time for them to help, for helping them endorse plant-based treaty, because it takes some time. And we did. It was like 50 or 60 signatures during this event. Also, presentation in schools and universities is another way we use to promote plant-based treaty. These are the people who are from climate sensitive groups, and they joined us, they listened what plant-based treaty was. This was one of the successes in Turkey that convinced the NGOs about how important was plant-based treaty, because they listened, like half an hour, they listened what was it about. Also, we keep on screening documentaries such as Seaspiracy, mostly Seaspiracy, and another one about animal rescues in Turkey. A videographer has taken the film of the rescues in during the fires, so we were on it, and this was a good one. So when people are arriving to watch the documentary, afterwards we can talk to them and comments about them to endorse plant-based treaty. Every action or event is a reason, is a path to lead people to endorse plant-based treaties, such as vegan breakfast events or picnics. We call people, we announce that we will be having a picnic or a breakfast, and people come over. It's vegan. And then we talk about how to stay alive, stay healthy, and be vegan. And even if they can't do it right away, they can at least endorse plant-based treaty. So this is every single sentence we are getting in contact with other people ends with endorsing plant-based treaty, whichever action we are doing. And recently, we have been starting to cook and share vegan dog food. This was another way of reaching other communities, such as dog and cat lovers in Turkey, because it's a problem in Turkey. Stray dogs are a problem in Turkey. And these groups who are helping the stray dogs are the closest community to us. When we cook vegan dog food and serve dogs with our perfect vegan food, they admire what we do, they start to understand what we do, and then when we get into contact, we can start talking about plant-based treaty. I think we use every reason or every connection we had to turn it into an opportunity to talk about plant-based treaty, and it works. And as the last reminder, remember that ask people to endorse when they confirm endorsing. Check with the list simultaneously. If the signature is not there, then you can ask them kindly to endorse again. Better to ask people to leave their information, because when they do, then you will be endorsing on behalf of them. And so when you do, you can check the list simultaneously. And I would say best to use the same device to endorse on behalf of the other people. And because there is a small chance that people may double endorse, but you would like to check it, of course. If you are using the same device, the system the system will warn you that that person has endorsed, so there will be no double endorsing. So this is what we do as a brief. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Nilgün. Do people have questions or? Nilgün, you said you worked with immigrants. Could you tell us more about the demographic, like where the immigrants are from? You said you shared seeds with them. Could you just tell us a little more about your program?
Sure, I can, but the contact person is Berna. Maybe she would better, they would better talk about it. Would you like to talk about it, Berna? Berna,
Yeah.
are you there?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Nilgün. I have been working as a field office manager in a community center that works for refugees and asylum seekers in Ankara, Turkey. So we have a direct link to the refugee community in Ankara. They are the regular beneficiaries of our community center there, and we do all kinds of awareness raising sessions with them. This time we chose to do it on climate crisis, because it's our world, and it's not only our single person's problem, so it's everyone's problem. And refugees and asylum seekers were really into how we were trying to get their attention to the topic, like planting seeds. we did dill and parsley, and we let them take the pots that they, planted, and ask them to share their, photos, like at each week, the 10th day, the 15th day, and we will make like a collage of the photos, like show their growth of their plants, and to get their attention, to integrate them to the workshop we did together. That was the idea. We had people from Iran, Syria, Iraq, I guess also Afghanistan. It was a mixed group of people. It was really amazing and interactive. They were like, teacher, referring to Nilgün. Is it looking good? Did I, make it okay? It was really nice.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other questions? There's a question in the chat, Berna. Are they comfortable endorsing and having their names public?
Yeah, I mean, when we explained them how the system works, and like we are not publishing the names or something like that. So yeah, they were comfortable and trusted us with their information.
Yeah, the individual endorsements are not public, Mary. They're not posted on the website or anything. They just receive emails, so it's not a public list. Any other questions?
I have a question about the cafe. I think that's amazing. I love that idea. Just wondering, does the cafe cover the cost of the prize, or is that something that ASM would reimburse them for? Because I'd love to pitch that idea to some vegan cafes and restaurants here.
Adrian, we have 4 cafes now in this program, and 3 of them we pay, but it is like $2 each time, $2 each week. So it's like $8 a week. So it's like nothing. But the 4th one, to my surprise, is a non-vegan cafe who has turned his menu to vegan by half, and now they are selling our recipes. I give them the recipe and they are selling it, and they said, we don't want your money. These every week we will offer the free cake and coffee for you for plant-based treaty, because we believe in it. And so it depends on the owners of the cafe. But even if they don't pay, I mean, it's really small amount. And to my surprise, the people who join the raffle do not show up sometimes. Like 40% do not show up. They endorse, but they don't endorse for the sake of the coffee or the cake. They want to join, because at the same time, the cafe owners are not just people who are doing it for trade. They are like ambassadors for us, and they know about plant-based treaty. They believe in it. They promote it. It's not. We have the poster. It's explaining, and we have all the barcodes, and they check it. I think it's the raffle is the fun part of it. It's not much, but yes, the answer is like, depending on the cafe.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I think this is incredible. This is such fantastic work, and the ideas are just inspirational. Thank you.
I would love to hear a little bit more about just like the workings of how you set up the raffle, Nilgün, and I'm also interested in the dog food, what you were talking about around dog food. That I'd love to hear more about that. It really bothers me to support rescues who are rescuing cats and dogs and feeding them other animals. The cat issue, as I know, is I argue with people about it a lot, and that one's harder. But for dog food, it shouldn't be as hard. So it would be great to find out more about that.
Yes, So the raffle is like we announce on the social media that if people endorse plant-based treaty, then they have the chance to be one of the winners every week. So they give their names and email addresses on the paper. And when we receive that list, that paper, we do the input at home with our computer, with our laptops on behalf of them. So there is no chance that they promise endorsing, but they do not. We make it sure that they endorse because we do it. I mean, I do it, Berna does it, Canan does it. So this is what happens. With the dog food, we have
So Nilgün, you advertise it on your social media, but also the cafe does that
yes,
as well?
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. All of
Thank
us.
you.
And we also have posters on the cafe wall. We have posters.
Cool.
And with the dog food, we have a veterinary in our group, and he explained us that it is adaptable. It's not. We did not know in Turkey we do not have vegan dog food, but we searched for it. Anita helped with us, help with that, and I checked online. And this veterinary worked a little harder, and now we are working in a group, trying to create our dry dog food, vegan dog food, because we cannot find it. But nowadays we just do like home food with lentils and pasta and carrots and a little bit of vitamin D and B12. That is enough for a dog to stay healthy.
Yeah,
And
we do
we
have
educate
quite a bit.
people.
Yeah,
Sorry.
for sure. So yeah, so we do have quite a bit of vegan dog food, even in commercial stores. You can find vegan dog food here in Canada, and I'm sure in the United States as well. So I'd just be interested. So you're making it, but you're talking to the rescues, because that might be a cheap way for them to feed their animals as well. So you're talking to the rescues and getting them to think about it and make their own food for the dogs too. I like that idea.
Yes, those groups at the beginning have a big resistance. They say that you are just extremists. The dogs are born carnivores, so you cannot feed them this. But this is not correct. So we start talking. Starting the conversation is the major thing. And then when we are talking, when we are cooking together, we get closer. So they some of them join us, some of them go vegan. It's just spreading the news in this way.
Yeah, I like it. Actually, there's a vegan vet locally who does research on the issue as well, so she might be good to get on board. So some good thoughts. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything. You folks are rocking it.
Thank you.
So Nilgün, do you have a recipe for dog food, like exactly what goes in that already tested and dogs are interested in eating it? Can you share?
Yes, not the proportions, maybe I can write down it, but we shared on our social media. We can maybe translate it, what we do in Turkey. Maybe it's a post on our Ankara Health Save post. We have it. It's a simple one with lentil, pasta, carrot, and I put some taurine in it. Then the veterinary told me that taurine is not so much needed by dogs, but cats. So we are feeding the dogs. So just vitamin D and B12. Like if you use one portion of lentil, you use 2 portions of pasta. They love it. And like 1 kilo of carrot. They love it. And you do not need to cook them so much so that they love the feeling of chewing.
Right, right. Amazing. Yeah, I'll try mine.
Thank you.
Yurim has the next.
Oh, hi. Thank you, Anita. Hi, Nilgün. I just wanted to congratulate you and your team for this. I just have a question. For the workshops you're giving on teaching people how to be independent in growing their own food, I was just wondering, is there any written information or any video, or I don't know, as an idea, like I'm wondering if you might like to maybe give us a little workshop, because I'm thinking to myself, like I would love to learn what you know so that I could share that knowledge, like especially in helping people, teaching them how to grow their own food, and how to prepare their own food. So I was just wondering if you have done, or if you might perhaps consider like an internal workshop to teach us. Yeah.
Sure, Yerim, that would be my pleasure. I'm trying to write down a small article about how to do it. We will publish it in our website, but a video is better. Always video is better, I guess. I can do it. I did a video about compost. It's in Turkish, but we can also have subtitles with that, but it might take time. Maybe you can take a second one in English, and why not a workshop all together? Because I worked on it. It's easy, but there are tricks, and we have to know it. It took me some time before I reached all the tricks. So why not sharing it with you right away? We can. It will be my pleasure.
Sorry, Nilgün, which kind of workshop were you suggesting?
Seed planting, parsley and dill.
Thank you.
Or other green things, anything. Oh, by the way, next weekend we will have a sushi workshop, and we are looking forward to that because people are so amazed about it. We'll see.
Great. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, really quickly, I guess just a follow up to what Nilgün was saying. Nilgün, would you, like, what if you were to maybe teach us how to make the yogurt? Because I think when it comes to like a dairy substitution that people can, feel confident making. But what do you think about maybe a yogurt workshop?
Anything is welcome, Yerim. Let's just plan about it.
Excellent.
Nilgün, who's doing the sushi workshop? Is that someone that you contacted, or are you doing it yourself? How's that?
Well, yeah, the thing is, when I went vegan 5 years ago, I had to learn everything from the very beginning. So in time, I learned everything, and I'm trying to share it with everyone. But at the same time, the cafe owner, lady who has been so helpful to us, she also knows how to cook sushi. Not cook, of course, prepare sushi. So both of us, we will do it. And sushi ingredients are expensive in Turkey, so we will offer people a simpler way, a cheaper way also. It will be an interesting one, and it will partially be in English. Maybe we can record it.
Thank you, Nilgün.
Thank you so much. That was outstanding. Thanks for this presentation. Maybe we could start recording now. But yeah, thank you so much, Nilgün, and the